So shall we start the session now, sir? We'll start the
Nice.
session. Welcome on this.
Breastfeeding is mother's gift to herself, her baby, and the earth. An exhilarating welcome to all the delegates over here. Myself, Abhinandan Ramanathan, pre-final year student from Tagore Medical College and Hospital, heartily welcome you all on behalf of Department of Community Medicine, Tagore Medical College and Hospital, Chennai. Breastfeeding is not just an option, but a responsibility of every mother. The oldest Tamil literature, Purananuru, also emphasizes the same. மலை தழு துணா குலவை ஆயர் அழைத்துப்பால் பெய்துவிடல். Similarly, வைரா தாய்முலை யுக்தா குலவியும் நல்குறவு சேரப்பட்டார். It says that if infants are not properly breastfed, then it will lead to malnourishment and it is also considered as a form of poverty. Breast milk is an ideal food for normal growth and development of baby. Ensuring exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months has significant potential to reduce the under 5 mortality rate. World Breastfeeding Week is celebrated every year from 1st to 7th August to create an awareness on the importance of breastfeeding. The theme of this year is Support Breastfeeding for the Healthier Planet, focusing on the protection and promotion of women's access to skilled breastfeeding counseling, which is a critical component of breastfeeding support. Now I would like to welcome our beloved HOD, Dr. Balaji Armugam, Department of Community Medicine, Tagore Medical College and Hospital, to introduce the speaker for the today's session and address the students. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Raghu, for your welcome address. It was very nice, and thank you so much for the Tamil quotes. It was very nice. At the outset, good morning to everyone present here. It's a very nice morning. Sir, Dr. Suresh Balan sir, and all the participants. I think our Dean sir, Ravindran sir, Priestley sir, all other our HODs and participants from outside, and our batch of students, our 160 batch students. Everybody has joined. Almost we have got 240 participants in our participants list now. So we'll be starting the session very shortly with our Dr. Suresh Balan. Before giving the mic to Dr. Suresh Balan sir, I would like to introduce about our Dr. Suresh Balan sir. He is known to me for the past 2 to 3 years only. Dr. Suresh Balan sir, but he is a very kind, humble person. Currently working as a professor and HOD in Kanyakumari Medical College, and he is our Tamil Nadu State IAPSM chapter president. Very humble person. Very nice of you, sir, for accepting the presentation with very short notice. So before going into our Suresh Balan sir presentation, I would like to give some basic informations about the breastfeeding week. Our current theme, this year's theme 2020, says that support breastfeeding for better planet, and this year's theme is going to focus on, especially by WABA and also BPNA is our Indian network, and both the Indian network and also WABA with WHO and UNICEF. Every year we celebrate our World Breastfeeding Week in August first week to promote breastfeeding, which is very, very important aspect for any children, and it helps for both the mother and also the child. So let us see the entire presentation from our sir. I think let us start our session. We are already 10 minutes, little delay from our side. Dr. Suresh Balan sir, over to you. You can start your presentation, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Very good morning, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
So, respected chairperson and managing trustee of Tagore Educational Trust, Professor Mala Madam, Dean Professor Dr. Gunasegaran, Dean Academics Professor Ravindran sir, Medical Superintendent Professor Sivapragasham, and my beloved and trusted friend Professor Dr. Balaji Armugam, the HOD of Community Medicine. It gives me immense pleasure to be a part of this wonderful program, which is being organized by Tagore Medical College on this day of Breastfeeding Week celebrations. And it's really a very nice thing that many of the students of the Department of Community Medicine have joined, the various faculties, professor, assistant professor, associate professors, and professors have joined, as well as the students from even my college have also joined, I think. So I'm very happy. Sir, is my PowerPoint visible, sir? It is visible. Okay. So all of us will agree with me that breastfeeding is the most important cost-effective intervention for a country in means of socio-economic development, whether it is the infant mortality rate or the under-5 mortality rate, which are the two key indicators for the socio-economic development of a country. And this is one of the very, very most important interventions starting from birth, in addition to the various other means like immunization, etc., in preventing the infant mortality as well as under-5 mortality. So every year, the month of August 1st to August 7th, we conduct this program as the World Breastfeeding Week. So I would like to ask a question to the students who are participating in this program. How many of you love your mother very much? I think most of you would say that you love your mother very much. And I am very sure, since you say that I love my mother very much, you are all breastfed from your child. That is when you are infants, you are breastfed. And because you are in this medical course, which is the highest wanted course in our educational system, your IQ is very high. So I am doubly sure that all of you have been given exclusively breastfeeding during your infancy. In a few words, I'd like to go on to the topic. The objectives of my topic would be: one is to know about World Breastfeeding Week and the theme of this year. Already Professor Balaji Armugam sir highly nicely has highlighted this. And the students to understand the importance of breastfeeding, to know about the early cues to breastfeed and technique, to understand baby-friendly hospital initiative and something about kangaroo mother care. So this World Breastfeeding Week is an annual celebration which is held every year from 1 to 7th of August in 120 countries. And it is organized by the World Alliance for Breastfeeding Action, the World Health Organization, and the UNICEF all together. And in our country, the BPNA, or the Breastfeeding Promotion Network of our country, as well as the Infant and Young Child Feeding Practice IYCF network, as well as the Indian Academy of Pediatrics and various organizations are conducting this program. What is the most important goal? Why we conduct this every year? So in spite of many years, for the past 29 years almost, we are conducting these programs, but still we find there is a big gap in the breastfeeding practices of our country as well as in many countries. So our most important goal will be to promote exclusive breastfeeding, which is very important for the first 6 months of life. Exclusive breastfeeding is for the first 6 months of life. No other thing. Nothing should be given, like the prelactal feeds commonly practiced, or the donkey's milk, or the sugar water, or the honey, or whatever it is, even plain water. Nothing should be given to an infant which is born till the 180 days of life. So why? Because it gives many health benefits, and most important, it provides all the essential nutrients. Almost 63 nutrients are there in breast milk, and then protection from the common diseases which cause infant mortality and under-5 mortality, such as pneumonia, diarrhea, etc. More and important is growth and development of the babies. So this already we have highlighted. It was formed in the year 1991 and promoting breastfeeding and supporting breastfeeding. And this WABA as well as the WHO and UNICEF have combined in the year 1990 and made a declaration which is called the Innocenti Declaration, which was made in 1990, which aims to protect and support breastfeeding. So 1990 onwards, 91 onwards, it was started. So these are some of the themes. Every year we are conducting it. We see that the theme of 2018 was breastfeeding, foundation of life. And last year it was empower parents and enable breastfeeding. The year 2017 is sustaining breastfeeding together. And the 2016 to sustainable development. So many themes every year, they keep on changing the themes, and this year it is support breastfeeding for a healthier planet. So the world itself has to be healthier, and one of the very important thing is breastfeeding. The most important things which have been suggested in this World Breastfeeding Week of this year is that every woman should be given skilled breastfeeding counseling. So the investment should be there for every mother to be given a skilled breastfeeding counseling. So this is very, very important. And increasing financing for breastfeeding programs, monitoring, policies, programs, everything. So that the investment should be made by the various organizations as well as the governments and the policymakers. Train the healthcare workers, including midwives and nurses, in the area of skilled breastfeeding counseling. We know that many mothers are coming, most of them from a nuclear family background, as well as they are all educated and employed. So it is very difficult for a woman to self-sustain and give breastfeeding unless she is motivated. So we need a counseling at this point of time. And they may have a lot of issues, they have a lot of doubts. We should be given, when should be weaning, which we started, everything. So training of the health workers is very important. Ensure counseling as a part of the routine health and nutrition available and easily accessible. So already we have a healthcare system in our country where we have the antenatal checkups being done by the obstetricians as well as the primary health centers at the medical officers, as well as in the rural areas where the village health nurses herself conducts the antenatal health checkups. So they should, at that point of contact, the counseling is very important. So antenatal itself, the counseling should start on what is breastfeeding, how they should start, and what are the things they should practice, etc. And protection, that is the influence of the baby food industry, which is very, very vulnerable part of the healthcare workers. And so the healthcare workers have to be prevented from the influence of the baby food industry, which is a very huge market. Millions of dollars have been put into that industry, and so they are always wanted to promote their baby food, that is the formula foods, that the tin feeds. So breastfeeding week campaign focuses on the negative effects of artificial feeding that weigh on environment, and also the way it serves as a drain on natural resources. So what is breastfeeding? All of us know breastfeeding is the feeding of an infant or young child with breast milk directly from the breast. That is via lactation, not from a baby bottle or other container. Why breastfeeding? As already told by the student Raghu, he has already told தாய்ப்பால் வந்து மிக சிறந்த ஒரு உணவு. எந்த ஒரு உயிருக்கும் வந்து அது very, very important. So all the species, whether it is an animal species or a human being, it is a right to good nutrition which can be offered only by the breast milk of the concerned species, and human breast milk is human specific. So every infant and child has the right to good nutrition according to the Convention on the Rights of Child. And when we know that 45% of the children died because of undernutrition, and in a survey which says that 144 million children under 5 are short for age or stunted, 47 million are estimated to be wasted, that is too thin for height, and above all 38 million are also overweight or obese, and 40% of infants 6 months old are exclusively breastfed. These are some of the statistics, and so we should understand that breastfeeding is very, very important to prevent these things. And few children receive nutritionally adequate and safe of 6 months. We have to introduce weaning, or we have to introduce complementary feeds in addition to breast milk. That is the most important. Many people think that 6 months alone breast milk is enough. It's not like that. In addition to breastfeeding, we have to give complementary foods. Locally made, available, cheap complementary foods should be given. Healthier complementary foods should be given. And in many countries, 25% of the infants only meet the criteria of dietary diversity and feeding frequency that are appropriate for the age. And over 8.2 lakh children's lives could be saved every year among children under 5 years if all the children up to the age of 2 years are optimally breastfed. Breastfeed improves IQ, school attendance because of the prevention of infectious diseases, and is associated with higher income in adulthood because the children become a healthy child and they study well, their IQ is good, they do better in graduation, and then they go for work and income is generated. Improving child development and reducing health costs through breastfeeding results in economic gains for individual families as well as at the national level. So this is the current scenario in our country as well as in the state of Tamil Nadu. We see one or two indicators as far as breastfeeding is concerned. Early initiation, that is, as soon as a baby is born, it should be given breast milk. Previously, they said it should be given before 4 hours, or then they said 1 hour. Now they say it is as early as possible, as soon as after birth. So we see it is very important to prevention of the neonatal mortality. And so in India, we see only 41% of the children or the infants are given early initiation of breastfeeding. Tamil Nadu, it's a little bit higher, that is 56, but still we find that almost 44% of the infants born in Tamil Nadu are not started at the right time, which is very, very important for the successful giving of the breast milk. Early initiation is very, very important. And then exclusive breastfeeding up to 6 months of life, which is very important to prevent the under 5 mortality rate. You see in our country, it is about 55%, and Tamil Nadu, you can see it's only 48%. So early initiation is there, but the people are not giving it exclusively for 6 months. So some of the facts on breastfeeding is very important for 6 months. It protects infants from childhood illness, benefits the mother, long-term benefits for children, and transmission of HIV can be reduced with along with drugs, ART drugs, and the marketing of breast milk substitutes or infant milk substitutes should be monitored. Support for mother is essential, and then mother should continue breastfeeding at workplace also. That is very, very important. Nowadays, the government is giving up to 9 months of leave during the postnatal period. The only reason to promote give breastfeed to the babies. And solid food should be faced at 6 months. So these are some of the other benefits which you can see. The most important what I can say is breast milk is substitute to nothing. It's only the very, very easily available to the baby after birth because the mother is along with the baby. So mother can give appropriate temperature is there, the warmth is there, and then the baby can be fed with breast milk at any point of time. It reduces the risk of illnesses, and then it gives a lot of immunoglobulins and antibodies to the baby, right nutrition to the baby, connects the correct levels of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, and it is very essential for the myelination of the neurons, and it increases the IQ, reduces the late onset of hypertension, obesity, diabetes, and asthma in the children, and allergic disorders in the children. And there is low incidence of sudden infant death syndrome, cancer, ear-infant gastrointestinal disruption. As well as the very important thing, it supports and bonding with the mother is very, very important as far as the breastfeeding to the baby is concerned. If you give baby, the baby will be bonded to the mother. And for the mother, it reduces the risk of many cancers like breast cancer. And then the most important thing which I would like to say is it prevents postpartum hemorrhage. As soon as if you put the baby on the breast, there is a decrease in the postpartum hemorrhage because very, very important now due to postnatal hemorrhage, postpartum hemorrhage in addition to anemia. So this is very, very important. And it also reduces the risk of breast cancer and then the risk of uterine and ovarian cancer and all other benefits also there. Even the beauty of the mother is there. The weight gain of the mother will be with regard to the mother as well as the baby is concerned. So this is highlighting the monitoring of growth. If we observe that those babies who are given exclusively breastfed, we can see that the weight gain is very, very ideal. That is above the 50th centile that we can see. And it has been proved in many studies that is the relative risk for babies who are breastfed is very less in regards to the acute respiratory infection as well as acute diarrheal diseases. So that we have proved in many studies, as well as the risk of neonatal death is also prevented by early initiation of breastfeeding. So many statistics are also there. So with this, I finished the topic of the importance of breastfeeding. I think most of the students will be. So these are the position. And then the side lying position also. If the mother is comfortable and the baby is comfortable, it can be given. Two babies, they can be given like that, and then the footboard hold position. So, what are all the cues? When should the mother give breast milk? That is very, very important. What are the signs to identify that the baby is hungry? Because many times the doubt comes, the baby is crying, whether to give feed or not. If the baby is not satisfied, the mother is always having the doubt. So, when is the ideal time you can identify that the baby is hungry? So, these are the early cues as far as the baby shows to the mother that I am hungry. One is the stirring of the baby, and then the opening of the mouth, and then the turning head, seeking and rooting. That is, the baby will turn towards the mother's breast, and it will be rooting as well as seeking the breast. That is, these are all of the early cues. And the mid cues, I'm really hungry, that is stretching, as well as increased physical movement. Then the hand to mouth, the baby takes the hands to the mouth, that means it is really hungry and stretching. Late cues, because at this point of time it is very difficult to give them because they are already crying and irritated, and so then you have to calm the baby and then only you can give. That is the crying, agitated body movements, and the color turning red. The cry, because of that the baby becomes red in color. These are times when it is very late identification of the feeding hungry. And the next part is, what is the ideal method of giving the breast milk to the baby? How to keep the baby to the breast? That is called as proper latch on. So many times we see that the mother just allows the baby to suck at the nipple. So we used to educate the mother that the baby should be in such a position that the baby's mouth should be wide open, and shown in the picture. The mouth should be wide open, and the chin of the baby should rest at the breast, and then the lips are flanged out. It should be wide open, mouth will be open, and the lips should be flanged out. The cheek should be bulged. Both the cheeks should not be flat, it should be bulged. The breast looked full and round, and we can hear the sound of the baby sucking as well as swallowing. You can hear, if you sit near the mother, you can know that the baby is sucking and swallowing. And the nipple should look long and round after the breastfeed is over. So these are the important method that is called as latching or latch. It is very, very important. So we cannot just say the mother, you give breastfeed for exclusively 6 months. You should tell them or show the picture how that is ideally practiced as a method by the baby to attach to the breast. So nowadays the pediatricians as well as the obstetricians are to follow this latch score. So we are supposed to paste this in the rooming in room or the delivery room, where you can assess the baby whether it is getting proper milk or not. Latch is L latch, that is the A is for audible swallowing, T is for the type of nipple, C is for the comfort, and H is for the hold. So you can know that by this scoring system we can find. So suppose the baby grasps the breast, lips are, as already told, the flanged. There is a rhythmic sucking, the spontaneous and intermittent audible sound is there, and then the type of nipple is Everts after stimulation, and the comfort is there, soft and non-tender, and the holding, no assistance is needed for holding the baby. These are all very important signs to show that the latch score is 10 out of 10. So that means the baby is feeding very well. So this is very important. Suppose the baby is too sleepy and there is no sound, nipple is inverted after stimulation. Before you give milk, you have to lightly stimulate the nipples. So the nipple is inverted and there is no pain, the engorged breast, there is severe pain is there. And you have to fully assist the baby to give breast milk. That is, it shows that the poor latch score is there. The proper way to breastfeed is stimulate the baby mouth to open by touching the nipple. Let the baby open the mouth wider. Bring the baby near to the breast. Latch the baby to the breast. So, as I earlier told, the baby may cry or baby may be awake for some other reason. So this is one thing which you should know, that whether it is hungry or not. So simulate the baby mouth to open, touch the nipple. Baby will open the mouth wider, then bring the baby to the breast and then latch the baby to the breast. So is there some contraindications to breastfeed, or all mothers can they give breastfeed even in this COVID situation, coronavirus, this pandemic? Many mothers do really have a doubt whether they can give safely the breastfeeding. So I got 1 or 2 slides at the end of the session. So the real indications will be any contagious disease which can spread from the mother to the baby is a real contraindication. One of that is the active or untreated tuberculosis, or the mother is taking some drugs for cancer like the radioactive compound chemotherapy, some other illegal drugs they are taking. And HIV infection with the help of ART is not a real contraindication to breastfeeding. What are the problems? Even though the mother is educated, problems with regard to breastfeeding. What are the problems? One is the engorgement of the breast. This is very commonly seen. Many times you see the mother says the breast is engorged. One of the important reason is proper emptying of the breast is very, very important, because the breast milk contains many things. That is the fore milk and the hind milk is there. The fore milk is one which is the early part of the breastfeeding, which contains only the carbohydrates and then proteins. But the late part of the hind milk contains lot of nutritious fat material. That is, the fat is there only only in the hind milk. So if the mother feels that after giving only the fore milk, the baby is happy, and she removes the baby from the breast, that means there is a remaining part, that is hind milk is there. So the breast should be fully empty, and the mother and baby should be fully satisfied that the breast is empty and the baby is also happy. That is the time which can prevent the engorgement of the breast. Otherwise, there will be a small amount of breast will be there, or milk will be there, which will lose a feeling of engorgement of the breast. And a poor breastfeeding latch. So even after the education of the mother, or telling the mother how to latch the baby to the mother's breast, there may be sometimes a poor breastfeeding latch will be there. Sometimes the baby will have mouth problem, anatomical problems may be there, some infection may be there. So there may be some mouth problems which also will be posing. Even a tongue tie at times may pose a problem to the proper latching and sucking of the breast milk. And supply of the milk, sometimes even the mother will say, I don't have adequate milk at all. Many times this is the only doubt. But we, the pediatricians, are educated to see the weight, the growth of the baby, the development of the baby, whether the stools are adequately passed, whether the urine is adequately passed. These things will help in assessing whether there is a supply is good. But in spite of that, the weight gain is poor, the baby is not passing urine frequently, is always crying, weight gain is not good, then we can always suspect there is probably a lactational failure or a poor supply of milk. Sometimes the nipple may be flat, inverted nipple, retracted nipple. So these are some of the anatomical problems in the mother's breast which can cause a difficulty in the breastfeeding. So we have to examine, even during the antenatal period, we have to counsel the mother as well as to examine the mother's breast to find whether there is any anatomical abnormalities there, so that a proper education as well as a proper therapy for that can be given. Suppose the nipples are paining, there is a sore or burning nipple, sometimes there may be cracked nipples, sometimes there may be a fungal infection may be there, so that the pain will be there. Cracked nipple is very, very common. This is another problem. Nipple confusion. Suppose some of the mothers may give breast milk once and then they go for formula feed. So the baby will suck the plastic nipple also, and then the mother's nipple. So there may be confusion. Or sometimes there may be milk ducts which can get plugged. So these are some of the problems. So as I earlier told, what is the thing with the coronavirus infection? Women can breastfeed because they have found out that the vertical transmission of coronavirus from the mother to the baby is very, very less. It is only a horizontal transmission. So there is no fear that if a COVID positive mother need not be worried that she will give the baby the infection. She can safely practice breastfeeding, provided she also practices some safe measures like hand washing, wearing a mask, and then the cough and the respiratory hygiene should be practiced. And then the safe distancing, the social distancing should be practiced. As soon as the baby is given breastfeed, then the baby should be placed in a different place or in a separate place. And then the mother should cover her face with a mask. She should not sneeze or cough in front of the baby. As well as she should wash her hands before. So these are some of the things which can be practiced before giving breast milk in case of a COVID-19 positive mother. So because many antenatal women are getting COVID-19 positive and getting admitted in hospital. So they should be very, very clear. They should not go for formula feeds. If a woman with COVID-19 breastfeed, she can be supported to safely provide a baby with breast milk in other ways, including expressing breast milk, or sometimes a donor human, other mothers who are in the antenatal ward without COVID-19 can also give human milk. And after some time also they can start the lactation, that is called relactation. So expressing breast milk, nowadays the pump is also available in many of the government institutions and in the private hospitals. So they can give through that. They express the milk and then give the baby. So these are some of the issues with regarding to the proper post-hatching and the problems with breastfeeding. And what is this baby-friendly hospital initiative, which started in the year 2003 and then revised in 2019? We say there are 10 points for any hospital to be baby-friendly. So they should comply with the International Code of Marketing of Breast Milk Substitutes and relevant birth solutions. There is many hospitals themselves support as well as sell formula feed in their own pharmacy, and sometimes they may even paste advertisements regarding that. So that is all banned under the Infant Milk Substitutes Act, IMS Act. So have a written infant feeding policy in that hospital. What is their policy? Many maternity hospitals with more than 100 deliveries a month, they should have a written infant policy. What is that they should give? What is exclusive breastfeeding? When they should initiate breastfeeding? How long they should give? What is complementary feeding, etc. Establish the ongoing monitoring data management system. And every staff should have sufficient knowledge, competencies, and skills to support breastfeeding. And discuss the importance and management breastfeeding with pregnant women and their families. Facilitate immediate and uninterrupted skin-to-skin contact and support and breastfeeding as soon as possible after birth. Support mother to initiate and maintain breastfeeding, manage the common difficulties which we already discussed. Do not provide breastfed newborns any other food or fluids other than breast milk. Like pre-lactate which should not be given, or any other unwanted things should not be introduced before 6 months of age. Sometimes they will ask whether I can give water during the summer season. Sometimes they will ask whether I can give honey or even some other formula feed to the baby. So they should not be given anything like that. And then the mother and their infants to remain together and practice rooming in. That is, they should be not separated in normal course of the time or the normal course of the period of the postnatal period. They should not be separated. Most of the time they should be together. And they support the mother to recognize and respond to the cues, which I have already shown as a picture: early cues, mid cues, and the late cues. Counsel mother on the use and risk of feeding bottles, teats, and pacifiers. So they should not use. Sometimes to pacify the baby, they'll give an empty nipple in the mother of with the baby, so mouth of the baby. So that should be also be not encouraged. Coordinate discharge so that parents and the infants have timely access to ongoing support and care. So as I earlier told, there are the alternative feed which is available in the market is the formula feed or the tin feed which is given through the bottle. So there are many dangers, 21 dangers of infant formula are there, and which the companies don't want us to know. As far as the child is concerned, we have told that they prevent the asthma, allergy, that is the breastfeeding. So when you give all the infant food, these infections will become more. Lower IQ, obesity, iron deficiency, anemia, sudden infant death syndrome, diabetes type 1, type 2, digestive problems, childhood cancers, exposure to environmental contaminants, sleep apnea, etc. And then for the mother, the chances of diabetes, overweight, obesity will be there. As I earlier told, the shape of the mother, the weight of the mother will be very good and adequate if they give exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months. Otherwise, they will become overweight and obese. They will have other cancers like breast cancer, ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, and the even development of diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease. Reduced child spacing will be there, because this is one of the lactation amenorrhea is one of the method to prevent the next childbirth. So a few words about the kangaroo mother care, which is also again a very, very important thing which the undergraduates should know, which is being practiced extensively now. All of you know what is a kangaroo, where it will keep the infant kangaroo. The infant kangaroo will be placed in the pouch in front of the mother's abdomen. So that is how it is being practicing the kangaroo to protect the infant. This is the same thing which we are practicing now. So very important for preterm and low birth infant by placing the infant in skin to skin contact with the mother. So nowadays it is kangaroo father care and mother care. As soon as the baby is born, even in the delivery room, now itself the baby, as soon as it is being taken out, it is placed above the abdomen of the mother. This is what is happening nowadays. The skin to skin contact is very, very important, especially preterm and low birth weight to prevent hypothermia and so many things. So all the mothers, irrespective of the age, the parenting, education culture, they should be practicing that. They should maintain good hygiene, and there should be a convenient time for that. And we should demonstrate what is the kangaroo mother care. For that, the dressing of the mother, the clothing of the mother should be light and front open. The baby's clothing also should be there. And if there is a less than 1,200 gram, between 1,200 to 1,800 gram, more than 1,800 gram, how to do this? So for less than 1,200 gram, it may take a little few days or 2 weeks before that can be initiated. And 1,200 it a few days, but more than 1,000 immediately after birth it should be initiated. The normal weight of the baby should be more than 2.5. So we are talking about very low birth weight infants as well as premature infants which are less than 1,800 grams like that. So baby should be placed in between the mother's breasts, head turned to one side. The baby's head should be turned to one side, and the baby's legs should be like frog leg and support the baby at the bottom. So it will be very close to the mother's chest and abdomen. So this is the kangaroo mother care. Very, very important for the prevention of hypothermia in very low babies as well as the promotion of the breast milk. So this is also one thing which I want to say, kangaroo father care is also practiced in many of the countries. So fathers also can place their babies above their chest and abdomen. So these are my references, and I thank the organizer, especially Professor Balaji Arumugam sir, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my views on the breastfeeding week. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Krish Balan sir. That was a very comprehensive presentation which covered almost all the areas, starting from importance of breastfeeding, cues, positioning, latch score, and contraindications and special situations. Especially, sir has covered our woman with COVID-19. What are the precautions that the woman has to carry out during breastfeeding? And the important areas again, like revised BFHI criteria in 2018 guidelines also you've mentioned, sir. That was also nice. And first 6 months and continue breastfeeding for up to 2 years of age or beyond, with introduction of nutritionally adequate and safe complementary foods at the end of 6 months. And advantages also, sir mentioned. I just want to summarize once again the benefits of the baby and benefits for mom. So benefits for baby includes it prevents diarrhea, other infections, pneumonia, and all asthma, and all those other things. The risk of sudden infant death syndrome, lowers the risk of obesity and developing allergies. Benefits for mom lessens risk of breast cancer and ovarian cancer also, and prevents postpartum depression and type 2 diabetes, and also it reduces the stress. So it was very nice to listen to your presentation, sir. Thank you so much for your nice presentation. Participants, any questions? I have already posted in the chat box. If any students have any questions, you can post in the chat box now. We can ask now, or you can also post in the chat box. We can wait for another 2 to 3 minutes for your doubts to be posted. Sir, I have a doubt, sir. Shall I ask you a doubt? On behalf of, this is for students to learn much more about, especially I want you to repeat especially about just COVID situation and breastfeeding, because yesterday I encountered a patient with 8 months pregnant mother having COVID positive.
Okay.
So she was very much apprehensive towards her delivery, and also she is a primary also. And she was very much interested in asking, sir, whether will I transmit the virus to my baby because it's in my uterus. So what will happen to my baby? What should I do in my future, especially after delivering the baby? Should I breastfeed or all those things she was asking? So this is just for our participants to learn much more. I want your clarification on this point, sir.
Sir, one point is very clear, sir. That is the incidence of vertical transmission. Like in HIV, we had a vertical vertical is very, very less as far as COVID-19 is concerned. This has been proved in many of the studies. So they are actually doing COVID-19 test to the baby as soon as they are born, and then after within 12 hours, and within 4, they have found that it is not positive. The chances of the baby getting the infection through the vertical transmission is very, very less. So even the breast milk, they have examined whether the virus is there or the viral particles are there in the breast milk. That is also disproved. So both these things can give the assurance to the mother that she will not give the infection through breast milk or through the natural, that is the during the passage of the baby, that is the vertical transmission. So that point we can explain to the mother. And how will she prevent the infection to the baby? That's the next question that I already told, that she has to practice all the methods available.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for so much for your expert opinion on our event and also your bird's eye view and opinion, sir. Thank you so much. No more questions from student side. I think we can complete our session, sir. Kavya, I call upon Kavya, our student, to deliver a word of thanks.
Thank you, sir. As the saying is, gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude and thanks to our chairperson, Professor M. Mala, our secretary, Mr. Manikandan, our dean, Dr. Gunasekharan sir, our medical superintendent, Dr. Shiva Prakasham sir, our academic dean, Dr. Ravindran sir, and Dr. Balaji sir, professor and head of the Department of Community Medicine, Tagore Medical College and Hospital, for their constant support. They've always been the greatest and strongest pillar behind the success story of every student in Tagore Medical College. Thank you. And I would like to thank our honorable speaker for today, Dr. K.U. Suresh Balan sir, Professor and Head of the Department of Community Medicine, Kanyakumari Medical College, and also the Senior President of Indian Association of Preventive and Social Medicine, Tamil Nadu, for his remarkable lecture on the theme support breastfeeding for a better planet. Thank you so much, sir, for highlighting the importance of breastfeeding, the correct latching position, and thank you for talking about the precautions that the COVID positive mother should take while breastfeeding, the kangaroo mother technique, and the dangers of infant formula feeds, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed a remarkable one, sir. Thank you. And I would like to thank all the faculty and professors for attending this session amidst their busy schedules. I would like to thank our technical team, Ms. Jenny and Mr. Alex, for helping us out in all the technical aspects. I would like to thank our digital partner, Medicine, for supporting us. And finally, last but not the least, I would like to thank all the students of Kanyakumari Medical College and Tagore Medical College for attending this session and making it very light. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kavya. Thank you, Suresh Balan sir, and all our IAPS members. Sir, we will try to do much more programs for the benefit of our students. I expect your utmost cooperation in future also, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Balaji Arumugam sir, for the wonderful arrangements, as well as for inviting me to be a speaker. And I also appreciate our IAPS members and EC members for joining in this program, especially Dr. Kuberan sir and Dr. Anayappan and all the IAPS members. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.